Today's episode of Diamonds Are Forever, the Hard Knocks review, is on to episode 3, and we cover it. A lot of ground to cover today, as you will see me and Diamante Williams get into it. But first, last week was the Burbank Comedy Festival, and if you haven't heard already, I did 2 interviews with 2 comics in the festival, along with myself in the festival too. One comic from out of town, Travis Tate, we talk about his experiences. One local comic, Mike Perkins, we talk about his experience in the festival as well. It wrapped up last Sunday, and it was a blast. So if you haven't heard those episodes yet, go take a look. They're on my YouTube channel. They were a lot of fun, and coolest part about it, they were in studio. That's right here, face to face, interviewing a couple comics, doing good stuff. So go take a look. But today on Diamonds Are Forever, we have our deepest dive of the season so far. Preseason is in full swing. We watched episode 3 of Hard Knocks, Dallas Cowboys, and oh boy, did we talk. Categories, new characters into the Hard Knocks universe, drone footage, campus footage, Jerry's World. You got to listen to this. Not to mention, we finish it off with Diamonds Are Forever, a very interesting portion of it, a deep conversation we have into our own history, our own family's history with each other as well. So you're going to want to stick around for that. Right now, Diamonds Are Forever, the Hard Knocks review of the Dallas Cowboys, episode 3, happens right now. Welcome to Diamonds Are Forever, the best YouTube show that airs Tuesday nights between 8:23 and 9:22 p.m. I'm Patrick Ramirez. Diamante Williams is here in Houston, Texas. Yep. Episode 3 we just watched.
Yes,
Hard
sir.
Knocks, probably my favorite episode of the year so far.
Yes, it is.
Let me start with this. We got so much information on this episode. Opening question, Diamante Williams, whose team is this?
Oh, man. Do I have to even say? This is Jerry Jones's team, buddy. Don't even ask if it's Dak's team. Don't even ask if it's a receiver's team. Don't even ask if it's a coach's team. This is and has been since 1988 Jerry Jones's team. And it'll always be until he, kicks the can, is what they say, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's his team, and we all know it from the scenes of him coming to the game, which we'll talk about later. Jerry Jones is just the man, right?
I think this episode hit the nail hard that this is Jerry's team. This is Jerry's empire he's built. This is Jerry's helicopter. This is Jerry's sunglasses. This was heavy without like a ton of like Jerry dialogue, quotes, just kind of scenes of them. You kind of got the feeling that this was Jerry World episode, but without a lot of like Jerry talk or Jerry audio.
Yeah.
I got that.
He was just in his element. He was back in his element. This is what he's known for. It showcased what he's built. This is Jerry's team.
Well,
it's not even a football team. It's like, this is a spectacle, right? This is a carnival.
Yeah, it really, really is. Like, if I were to just say, name some NFL owners, it starts with Jerry Jones. And then after that, I'm racking my brain to say, okay, who else is an owner?
I think Robert Kraft after that. The only person I think of is Robert Kraft.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. After that, who do you know? And I don't know about you, but I personally never get tired of the Jerry Jones owning the Cowboys story. I love that he buys up the team. They go through some hard times. He builds the empire, and we've been trying to rebuild ever since, but I never get tired of the Jerry Jones story.
$500 million he spent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what is he worth now? $6.5 billion. Hell of an investment.
And also, like, to keep it going on the padding of the Jerry World, we have I don't know what the record is for the longest drone footage shot.
I almost thought it wasn't a drone. It was so awesome.
I had the same thought. I was like, this is some kick-ass drone footage. I'm like, is this a drone? This looks I don't know if I fully know if it was a drone or not, but I think it was. And like, it was going throughout the stadium. I was like, oh, it ends at the stadium. Nope. It's going through the locker room. Oh, it's going through the meeting room. Oh, it's going back to the practice field. Awesome. It was a long shot. It was almost to the point where like, I thought it was going to be one of those shots where at some point the drones start zooming out and then it's you see the state of Texas, then it keeps going. Then you see the country, then you see the globe, then you keep going. You see the universe. I thought it was like, might as well keep going.
Yeah, that was so cool, man. Whoever was flying that drone is a monster. First of all,
yeah. Let's assume it was a physical drone. That was amazing.
Yeah, let's give him his props for flying that thing because he was hitting corners, he was getting through tight spots. Mm-hmm. Man, that was the coolest opening I've seen in a long time. That's the coolest drone shots, like you said, that I've ever seen. It was awesome.
We've been dancing around good drone footage the first 2 episodes, and this one just blows it out of the water. Like I said, this is my favorite episode so far. Okay, I just made quick notes. Look at this. Here's who we got in the episode. We got our Alacone info. We got Jerry. Zeke eats candy. Trayvon Diggs. Amari Cooper makes his debut. Jaquan Hardy is in it. And Kamara makes a cameo at the end. These are like, we have like 8 different storylines packed into this episode.
Do not forget about my man, Danucci.
Danucci got in at the end. I could have done without that part, but you're right. I need to add Danucci. Got in a little bit at the end too. What does Danucci have on HBO Hard Knocks that they have given him so much screen time that the third string quarterback has gotten 2 episodes worth of screen time?
They want to see this guy fail is what it is. I feel like it's not, he doesn't have anything on them. I think HBO has a lot on him, right? They want to see this guy go down, I think, and they're documenting it. They're like, you know what? We're calling our shot right now. Danucci, he's going down. We're going to follow this. Watch this guy burn in real time.
Well, before we get to the meat of the episode, I got a couple questions for you and a little mini news segment I want to try out on you. Okay, here's my just first kind of question. Is there any scenario in your mind in which the Cowboys trade away Zeke this year, next year, 5 years down the road? Do you ever see them kind of making a play to get rid of Zeke?
It's a good question because that's a question that came up on talk show radio when he signed his contract, his huge contract, or even before he signed his huge contract, right? They were like, well, what can we get for Zeke? Is he replaceable? I think running backs are replaceable, but I don't think that type of running back is replaceable. He's number one, I'm a locker room figure, right? And he's the fun guy. He's a likable guy. He's a team guy. He makes this feel like a team. A lot of the biggest problems that they talked about Romo is he was to himself a lot. He wasn't a leader. He wasn't, a person that was going to gather the team together, right? And Dak, of course, we all know that that's his specialty, but Zeke's part of that. People love him. And then his little, his scene where he's coaching the other running backs, the rookie running backs, right, on what they should be doing. And it's hard to replace somebody like that in the locker room. So yes, he's replaceable, but do we want to replace him? Who are we going to replace him with? You know, like
unless there's some injury, I don't see Jerry wanting to part ways with him. He's so talented. He's integral of this team. I don't see any sort of move to make a play for Zeke in the middle to later this season. The only thing that could change would be in the era of player empowerment. If Zeke wants to leave, if Zeke wants to make a play to leave, say they just have another horrific season and he's like, all right, I need a change of scenery. I don't see the organization ever making a play to trade him to get draft picks, to get somebody, unless there's an injury or Zeke makes the call. What about this too? I'm thinking of the eras of the Cowboys when I asked like whose team is this? Let's go through whose team the Cowboys have been over the years. You had You had the 70s Cowboys, where I would say that was Landry and Staubach team.
Yep.
And in the 90s, I would say that's Jimmy Johnson, close second, Aikman's team. Would you agree with that, or would you put someone else in there?
I would throw Michael Irvin in there. I think he was that loud voice in the locker room. I think he was that kind of diva-ish, not really diva, but more controversial, more in your face, more challenging, type of individual. I could totally see it being his team. If you weren't playing, up to his standards, he was going to call you out. And so I would throw Michael Irvin in there for sure.
How about the dark years? After the championships, we had the Parcells era team.
Yep.
We had I don't think it ever fully became the Romo team, but he would have been the only face of the franchise during the Romo years. Who am I leaving out? Because there's a lot of forgotten Cowboys years.
Our tight end, what's his name?
Oh, Witten.
Jason Witten.
Witten.
Yeah,
okay.
We could see it as a Witten team. And that was the problem with that era, is because since the quarterback wasn't the guy that was leading the pack, he wasn't the vocal leader, he wasn't the guy that makes people want to play for him, right, or play with them. That's probably why they didn't win all those years.
Yeah, they didn't have any playoff wins. I think they had one. Yeah. So I mean, think that's vital in having some ownership of the team. So that's probably why we never had the Quincy Carter era of the Cowboys.
They reminded me of Troy Hambrick, right? He was the running back at the time. When you said Quincy, when you were thinking of that, I remember Quincy Carter, Troy Hambrick, and that's all that comes to my mind back then. Oh, Roy Williams, I think, was in that era.
Yeah, Roy Williams would have been in there. There was the brief Bledsoe era.
Yeah.
There's one more quarterback that we dug out of the grave to play for a little bit. When a chick reaches like 37 years old and they go and they list the list of bad boyfriends they've had in their past. I think you could do that with Cowboys coaches, quarterbacks, stuff like that. You'd be like, oh man, that was a rough one. I don't know what's going on there. I was going through a phase.
What are you drinking over there?
Okay, I went with beer of the week. I stuck with Blue Moon, but I put it in this big glass because summer is ending. I don't know where you stand on this, but there was always a very definite feel when I knew summer was ending and school was starting. And someone once told me, when they start playing Don Henley's The Boys of Summer on the radio, summer's over, dude. Summer's over. And I heard that. And I was like, God damn it, you're right. Summer's over when I start hearing that song. So summer's over here in, I don't know where you're at in Houston, but here in LA, school started again. So tons of cars on the street.
Monday for us.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in the same boat.
Same. So tons of cars on the streets, kids walking to school.
Yep.
So school's back. Sorry, suckers. Sure. One of the best days for me is the year I graduated college. And, I had my summer job. I worked all summer, and then school started again. And I was like, I'm not going to school. This is the first. It was a great feeling. Great feeling.
Hey, little buddy, have a good day, little buddy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I told my little brother, like, whew, it's a long way to Christmas break.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I got another question for you. This popped up earlier in the week. I'm calling this one "Explain Your Tweet." You tweeted, "Can you put food in a garbage disposal?" What are you thinking? What facilitated this? How do you not know you can or can't do this? What's going on there? Explain your tweet.
Man, me and the wife were having a discussion, right? About, the garbage disposal, right? And I think this discussion's come up once before, and I've never paid attention to it, but I made a couple steaks on Sunday, and had them on the grill, and we had this tub, this big old, Sam's Club quart, of potato salad that we had from a barbecue that was a couple weeks ago, and we thought it was still sealed. And so come to find out when we started, we tried to serve it and we tasted it. It wasn't completely sealed, so it was bad. So I'm over here, thinking I'm doing the right thing and everything. And I turn on the garbage disposal and I get ready to dump it out. And my wife's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What? I'm just putting this in the garbage disposal. This is what a garbage disposal is for. It's to put food in there, right?" And she's like, "No, it's supposed to just be the leftover food that comes from the dishes that goes in there." I was like, "Wait, this is a garbage disposal for food, right? That's why you don't throw it in the trash can because it spoils in the trash can and it makes the trash stink. So you put it in the garbage disposal." And it just,
What was
became a discussion.
what was the end result? Where did the food end up? Garbage disposal or trash?
Boom! I just dumped it right in that garbage disposal, buddy.
I would think the food can go in the garbage disposal. It's got, it's got stuff to chop it up and mince it up so it goes in there. So I thought like this was an obvious answer. Like, yeah, sure, you can put it. You could throw it in the trash too. But
according to certain people, you don't. That's not what it's for. But I'm like, well, what is it for then? So.
And how are things with the wife now? What date are you being served with divorce papers for throwing it into the garbage?
Right? More like, which room did I have to sleep in that night,
right? So you figured out that food, your wife said no, it does not go in the garbage disposal. You said yes, you dumped it in anyway. You dumped in spoiled potato salad. Got it.
Being defiant,
Okay, here's my new segment for you. We're trying this out. I don't know if everybody knows your love of steak. So,
oh man,
this new segment is called Steak or Salad. I'm going to give you 3 topics and you got to choose if these are steak or salad in your mind. Steak or salad. First one, the Cowboys away jersey. The Cowboys have a unique jersey setup where they wear white at home. Most teams go dark at home. Yep. They wear white at home. On the road, typically the teams wear dark, so the Cowboys wear white on the road. Occasionally, they wear their dark blues. So, your thoughts on the Cowboys away dark blue jersey, steak or salad?
That's a porterhouse steak because those blue jerseys are so sexy when they wear them, man. The blue jerseys with the silver pants, right, man, and then every once in a while they'll throw in the white pants on them, man. That navy blue jersey is just it's something serious, man. I have a couple of those in my closet, as a matter of fact. But yeah, that's definitely a porterhouse steak because those
you don't see it that often.
You don't see it. So
that's what makes it kind of special.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of a like a treat when you see the blue jersey.
Do you know how that came about though? So the story is if I want to say it was the old Coach Landry, it was either him or the old owner, Tex. Their thought process was when the away team came to Texas and they had to play in the dome with the hole in there, it was hot. And they wanted them in their dark jerseys so they can be even more hot, right? Because of the sun. It would absorb, the sun rays. So, and that's why, the Cowboys would wear their white jerseys at home as opposed to wearing their white jerseys away.
Yeah. So I like that. I like when they use the uniforms as some form of gamesmanship too.
Yeah.
If the home team can choose, then they can start saying like, well, what's the other team coming in? What are they going to wear? What are the factors? Because to my knowledge, only a few other teams implement this. I know Philly was white at home for occasionally. They weren't always white at home. Washington was occasionally white at home, but that's about all I can think of in my head of who goes the light colors at home, other than the Cowboys have been a staple of it forever.
And that's who you usually see the Cowboys wear their blue jerseys against.
Right. That's true. They're in division teams.
And the Redskins. Yeah.
Next one, steak or salad. Domes. We don't see domes anymore, or we see some version of domes now. Steak or salad on dome stadiums.
Are you talking about dome that we used to get in college, or?
Let's
football
go.
domes.
Let's go domes now. Current domes. Steak or salad? Do you like the outdoors? Do you like the dome? Also, domes are not dome shaped anymore. They used to be round, sort of crown shapes, and now they all have their own unique artistic flair to it all.
Yeah, like the Raiders. I want to go see that stadium. Man, that looks like a super, and that's a dome, right? Because it's way too
enclosed,
hot to be playing. Yeah, it's way too hot to be playing, especially during this time of the year in Vegas.
And also, domes can become outdoor stadiums these days. They just open the roof, so you got best of both worlds.
The thing, this is a hard one because I like grass fields, and a lot of times, probably about 85% of the time, maybe 90% of the time, the fields that are inside domes are artificial turf. I don't like artificial turf. I think the NFL, number one, needs to make it a mandate that for player safety, first of all, that everybody has to have a grass field.
I thought the safety argument was for the field turf, though. I thought that was safer than grass. I thought that was the reason for it.
And what's happening is people's their feet are getting stuck on the rubber little grains that are in the ground, and they're twisting their knees, and they're blowing out their knees and stuff like that. So it doesn't provide a natural. If you get hit, it's not just sliding. You get hit and your foot's getting stuck in the ground because of all the rubber, from the field. So I know there's a couple stadiums that they're domes and they still use grass stadiums. Mm-hmm. The Houston Texans used to actually do that. I'm not sure if they're still doing that anymore, but they used to do the grass field inside of their dome. I know.
Yeah, I think Arizona is like that.
Arizona
too.
Still does it. Yeah, Arizona.
I don't think there's that much grass left, though. You're right. I think the majority is field turf these days.
So I guess playing field wise, no, I'm not a huge fan of the domes. Not only that, I like the natural environment, right? So when you go to Kansas City, you're playing in the snow. I like seeing those types of games, right?
Right. I like the overhead shot. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
from the blimp. I like seeing the overhead shot from the blimp and seeing the field lit up as well. But yeah, I like the elements too, which, except for maybe Minnesota, where like the elements are too hard and you're like, yeah, we might as well put this thing indoors.
Yeah. So see, that's understandable for sure.
Denver can be fun because you'll get snow in October every once in a while.
Yeah.
And you flip on the TV and you're like, what the hell is this? And then someone inevitably says like, oh yeah, it can snow in Denver. There's always that one asshole that tells you how it can snow in the mountains. Like, oh, thank you for the weather pattern information there. It's only been happening for hundreds of years. Steak or salad, RPO. Now, I'm not talking about the RPO offense. I'm talking about people who insist on saying RPO during the game.
The actual meaning of it?
No, I'm saying like people who like to use the term RPO. Every once in a while we hear a term and then we just use it to death for the next 8 to 10 years. RPO, Wildcat offense, system quarterback, stuff like that. RPO.
It's steak. That form of offense is going to be around for a while. It's not going anywhere, right? And so just get used to it. RPO. We got RPOs all over the place. The mobile quarterback is in, and it's not going anywhere at all. So especially with you got Lamar Jackson running that RPO all day long. You don't see you'll see Patrick Mahomes run it every once in a while. Dak, that's how he got his leg broken last year. And you'll still see him run that RPO, but it's steak. It's going to be here. And the people who call it RPO, more power to you, sir.
Giving it steak. Okay. Let's talk the episode. Here's my main takeaways. We finally got the Isaac Alacone information. We were just desiring so bad. I got, he's from Monterrey, Mexico. He's 6'7". He has 2 other brothers. He's still learning the offense and how to play in the NFL. And then most importantly, cannot grow a mustache. They don't want to grow a mustache. Yeah. They said your dad has a weird mustache and they refuse to grow a mustache.
They said it's a custom, right? Also, that they have it just shaved right in the middle.
Right. The dad had this weird mustache, had this reverse Hitler mustache. And then the brothers are like, nah, we're not growing that. We're not doing that. And by the way, the dad says what, 7 words in this whole episode?
Yeah, it was all the mom, right?
Yes, we finally got our Isaac Alarcon info, which I have them in multiple categories coming up.
Yep. I sure do too.
Other takeaway is Cowboys are no longer in Oxnard. So long, Oxnard. The preseason is in full swing now.
Yes, sir.
They left there. Zeke eats a jar of candy. Anytime you have a
jar of candy.
Yeah, anytime you get enough candy where you want to put it in a different container, that's serious candy. Serious
it was like
candy.
It was a teacher jar also, right?
Yeah.
That's the type of jar that your teacher has sitting on her desk for if you had a good day at school, right?
Damn it. It looked good though. What was he eating? What candy? Do you know? But it looked good. I wanted to eat some.
I don't know. It almost looked like one of those fruit by the foot that he was eating, right? Because he kind of rolled it up and stuffed it in his mouth. So I don't know what it was. It was either that or one of those airheads. One of those string airheads.
Oh yeah, like the ropes. Yeah,
the
ropes, like it's this kind of sweet and salty rope.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and he was just pecking away at opening the package. My mouth was watering. Just watching him get ready to eat that candy. Is like, I need some candy. I need some Starburst. I need Skittles. I needed Halloween candy bad watching Zeke eat candy. How much candy has Zeke eaten this season?
Oh, he eats candy all day long. And you knew that. We knew that was going to happen. His first season in the league, they showed him with a whole bunch of candy in his locker his rookie season. So he's a big candy guy.
I got, as the episode continues, might have a new favorite character into Hard Knocks. Jaquan Hardy did it for me. I liked, rookie. I like a rookie. And then I like that he's got this unique problem of having horrible vision and not being able to get his contacts to work and having to put glasses on, physical glasses on under a helmet. I just off the top of my head, here's some famous goggles wearers that I can think of. I got Eric Dickerson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Kevin Duckworth of the 1990s Portland Trailblazers, Antoine Carr, who did the Oakleys for the Utah Jazz. And he would do this. Do you remember this? He would wear these massive Oakleys. And then for free throws, he would put it on top of his head. I always liked that. And then, of course, I got Bob Greasy from the 70s who would wear the old school eyeglasses under his helmet too.
What about the basketball player from the Bulls? He was.
I forgot about Horace Grant.
Horace Grant. Yep.
You're right, and he would do the colors. He would do colors on his goggles. That was good. He carried that into Payton. I forgot about Walter Payton. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, a couple famous goggles wearers. And then I got one question for you before we do the categories. I'm going to give you 3 names.
I got a question for you too before we get into that too.
Okay, you start. Go ahead.
Okay. Why are you an Oakland Raiders fan?
Okay. I've been asked this before. I always trace your sports teams to your childhood and who was good when you were a child. Think about the Cowboys fans in the 70s. These are like people who are our dad's age. Think about 49ers fans we all know. And I know a lot of Steelers fans as well. Yep. So anytime someone lives in a city and they're a fan of the team who is not in their city, go back into their childhood. And I bet that team was good when they were kids.
That's true.
So go back 80s, mid to late 80s for me. The Raiders were the LA Raiders, remember at the time.
Yeah.
They were good. They were going to AFC championship games. They had 1 or 2 Super Bowls in the mid 80s, but they were still good. But I trace it back to my family. We did the first ever Los Angeles vacation when I was like 6 or 7 years old. And we did the Disneyland. We did the sightseeing. We went to the beach. And I remember being infatuated with everything LA. So of course that meant LA Raiders.
Yeah.
So I think that's where it started. And then they were good at the time too. So that was my team that I followed. And also shortly after that, it brought along the first time I ever cried at a sporting event. It was the 1989 or 90, probably 90 AFC championship game. The Raiders are playing the Bills. They lost by 1,000,000 points and I started crying.
They got whooped by them.
They got killed.
The AFC championship, huh?
Yeah, that was the year. That was the Scott Norwood year of Super Bowl. And the Raiders went to Buffalo and they were just out of the game inside of 7.5 minutes. And I started crying. Yeah. So I think that's where the Raider stuff started, was the LA trip as a kid.
Yep.
And then them being, somewhat good. That was Marcus Allen. That was Bo Jackson. That was Art Shell. That was Howie Long, Tim Brown.
Yep.
Yeah. So I was just into him there, and I just stuck with them. They went to Oakland.
Who was the coach? Art Shell?
Art Shell was a coach for a lot of it. And then I had the brief heyday in the Rich Gannon years, early Gruden, where they were good and they went to the Super Bowl once and lost. So we had a little blip where we were good. We were good again in the AFC West.
Yeah, John. Yeah, they haven't been good since then, huh?
No,
since they had John Gruden. Yep.
I went to that one playoff game 4 or 5 years ago, and that was about it.
Well, they were really good that one year, and then David Carr blew out his ankle or something.
Didn't even play in the playoff game. Right.
Didn't play. It was the game before the playoffs, and they didn't even need to have him in the game.
Right. We were having a great year. We were going to be at home for a wild card game at least. Yeah. And then the next game, I think the backup QB came in. The game didn't matter.
Texans beat them. Yeah.
Right. And I think the Texans beat them in the playoff game too.
Yeah, in the playoffs. Yeah.
It was just done. Carr went down. The season was done.
Yeah, man.
It was over. That was our last.
Tough.
That was our last good season. Okay, here's my question for you. Who's your guy? I'm going to give you 3 names. Who's your guy of these 3? Jaquan Hardy, Isaac Alacon, or Azur Kamara. You got to choose one. Who's your guy?
Alacon. I like Alacon.
That's your guy, huh?
Yeah, that's my guy. He's had a couple sound bites. We've been talking about him since episode 1. We finally know why he's there. We know how he's gotten there now. I think that's awesome. I didn't know they had a player development program like that for people over from other countries. I thought that's pretty cool how he gets there. And he's working hard and he's playing good. Mm-hmm. He looks good. He had a few pancakes in the episode. That actually made me smile when I saw him just manhandling the dude in the playoff in the preseason game, just pancakes. And what was cool about all that is his family's from Mexico, right? And they have it translated and everything. But Mexico's huge for soccer, not football not football americano. It's football, right? And the family grew up playing football. And they're using football terms, right? They understand what pancakes are. I think Dad asked him, how many pancakes did he have today? And he was like, I think he had 3 today,
Yeah, I didn't get that at first when they said that. Yeah. I thought they were talking about eating pancakes. I didn't get it at first, but they were talking about pancake blocks. I didn't understand that at first. I was like, oh, maybe they're talking about that. Because the brothers are football players too, so they know O-line terminology like regular language.
Yeah, so I thought that was super cool. That's my guy. I'm rooting for him. I hope he makes that team.
All right, let's do the categories. Category number 1. Let's start at the top. MVP scene of the episode. I got 3 nominees. Let me start with you though. Let's see if we match any here. What do you think for MVP scene of the episode?
I have 2. I have MVP scene. I have Amari Cooper teaching CeeDee Lamb his release techniques.
I got that too. Awesome. That was good.
Yeah, that's super cool. That shows a sense of humility coming from CeeDee Lamb, who is if you're any kind of a football fan, everybody's raving that he's going to probably be the the best breakout player this year. He's everybody's talking about him. Everybody's raving. All the fantasy football shows are talking about he's going to be the best. But we all forget the real number one who just got paid last year from the Cowboys is Amari Cooper, and he just comes back from his injury, and he's over here, and then there's humility from CeeDee Lamb asking him, "Can you teach me the actual release?" Right? So that takes a lot. That takes a lot of humility to just put that pride and ego in the back pocket and ask for help. Hey, can you show me how you just did that? So I thought that was a pretty cool scene. And then I thought the most rewatchable scene is, I'm a huge Zeke fan, and we haven't really seen him really run the ball. It's been all about jokes and fun with Zeke, but we actually got him
jars of candy.
Jars of candy, right?
Him pattering his ass.
Stealing bikes, learning how to, wrap presents.
Wrapping suitcases.
They actually had like almost 2 minutes of him practicing, and he's a stud. And it reminds you of why they picked him number 5. He was number 5th pick in the 2016 draft. He just looked good out there, man. He's a ball player. He's a stud. So those were my 2 most watchable scenes. Just watching him, just play.
Really good Zeke footage. Really good footage of Zeke making cuts, reversing field, spinning. Yeah, we saw Zeke go full tilt for a couple of plays there, which was nice to see.
Yeah.
I had the Amari coaching up the teammate on routes as well. I did like that, where it was all nuts and bolts. It wasn't trash talk. Yeah. It wasn't like anything. It was just nuts and bolts. I do this. I do this. I do this. Here's the route. Here's the route. I could have went another 25 seconds on him giving that guy routes. I went with that scene. I also had the trash talk with that one receiver to Parsons on the sideline.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb. Yeah.
But it was different kind of trash talk. It was like technical terms trash talk. He said, "You never played the slot. You don't play the slot." Yeah. And he's like, "I got outside leverage. I got outside leverage. That's why I was taking you inside." I liked how it was like nuts and bolts trash talk. That was funny.
And then the scene that preceded that, it was his coach was telling the rookie Michael Parsons, "You played the wrong coverage." And that's what CeeDee Lamb was telling him he did, and he kept arguing he wasn't.
Yeah.
And then the coach was telling him, you played the wrong coverage. If you would have did this, you would have had an interception. And that's what CeeDee Lamb was trying to tell him. Right. But he wasn't listening. He was the big-headed first-round draft pick guy right there.
Yeah, he was just giving him the straight dish. Like, you come off the line this, I do this. You do this, I do this. This technique, I do this. It was all inside baseball knowledge, which I thought was so cool. I love that. And then my last MVP scene, the card game.
That was awesome.
I wanted to be in that card game. So I got a lot of questions about the card game coming up. That card game I could have went all day with. I could have went Hard Knocks. Just film this card game. So my MVP scene is the card game. That's my number 1.
Yeah, I got a couple quotes from that card game.
A lot of quotes in the card game. Yeah, a lot of quotes. Category number 2, reality TV show Green Light. Easy one for me this week is.
Go ahead, lead that off.
The mailroom coordinator. I think Malcolm was his name. Give him the reality show. Just follow him around. He's a legacy. Yeah. He's good at his job. Legacy. He knows the players. That's my reality TV show going away. Easy one for me this week.
Yeah, I actually had him. I had him in a different category that's a very good one. I mean, just
his name was Malcolm, right? Malcolm.
His name is Jonathan Jackson.
Oh, where'd I get Malcolm from? Jonathan Jackson, the mailroom. I think his title was mailroom supervisor.
Something cool. It was awesome.
Very cool.
He gets to hang out. Yeah, he gets to hang out at the Star. That's what he does.
He had the cool polo shirts.
Yeah,
I was down.
Yeah. Beating people up in spades. Like he's awesome, right? For the reality TV Green Light, I have Jerry Jones doing that, right? I want them to follow Jerry Jones all day long. I want to see what he does. Does he take any naps throughout the day, right? He flies. He takes a helicopter to practice. He takes a helicopter to the games. Like, and he lives in the city. He's not driving. He's not in any kind of traffic, right? So,
No,
yeah, I need to see what Jerry's doing all day long.
I'd watch
I
that
know
for
it's not.
sure.
Yeah, I know it's not Cowboys 24/7. I wonder what else he's into.
Yeah, I want to see what he does when he wakes up. Like, does he have a chef? Does
Yep.
he go get food? Is food waiting
Yep.
for him? What's his first
Yes.
meeting of the day?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm
What's his
endlessly
toilet paper look
fascinated.
like? Yes.
I still wanted a toilet paper. The Jerry Jones one could almost be every episode. Reality TV show, green light, Jerry Jones. Reality TV
Jerry
show,
Jones.
green light, Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones. His son. Today's his son.
Today, yeah. I'm all in. I'm all in on what would his reality TV show title be? You got Jerry's World. That's easy.
Yeah.
Oh, what about
Sure.
this? Keeping Up with the Jerry Joneses.
Classic.
That would be good.
That's
would be good.
too easy.
It's too easy. Keeping Up with the Jerry Joneses. That's right. Yeah, he needs a title. That needs to happen at some point is the Jerry Jones reality TV show. Next category, training camp square footage. We finally got a lot of training camp square footage in this one.
Yeah.
The campus shot is unbelievable. Like we were talking about the drone footage, just the acreage. I wrote it down.
How much was it?
91 acres. It has a beyond the stadium and all the practice field, a boutique.
It's got to be more acres than that. It's got to be like 90,000 acres or something.
Well, they said 91, so I don't know if they're just counting practice facilities or football facilities because they also said that there's a boutique there, there's shopping and a hotel, which leads me to ask, why doesn't every NFL stadium have a hotel?
Yeah.
Don't you think that would be common sort of way of thought is like, let's put a hotel in the stadium.
And that's what they used that hotel during COVID as a quote unquote bubble for them. Because nobody was really traveling and everything, they actually used that hotel for the players to keep them all from having to go into that COVID protocol and everything. That's why they were one of the few teams. That they really didn't have to put none of the stars missed any games. They had a couple, third stringers miss a game, but yeah, because everybody, stayed at that hotel. But dude, that thing is amazing. And high school, it seats 14,000 people in the practice facility. Crazy.
The campus is unreal. And the hotel, I thought like this makes total sense. People come in, they're at the hotel, they go to the game. There's no find a cab parking. There can be restaurants. They can make just an entire campus, essentially a Disney World for the stadium. And you could have restaurants, you could have the hotel, you could have nightlife, all within the stadium's campus. And then come Sunday, all those people in your hotel just go to the game, or fuck it, don't even go to the game. Just enjoy the game from the hotel's lounge or whatever. I bet that would be just as fun.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome campus. And also what I got for square footage campus, the meeting rooms have drastically improved since the Oxnard training camp.
They're like little movie theaters, right?
They got the nice chairs. They got the nice tables. They got air conditioning. Meeting rooms have improved quite a bit.
I got one of my questions about the facility. I want to know how many people work at that facility. How many, not even just at the boutiques and stuff around. I just want to know how many people actually help run that facility, because you saw all kinds of people, vacuuming the locker room, the mail guy, like there's all kinds of people in that place. So I wonder how,
it's got to be thousands. It's got to be it's got to be 1,000 people. It's essentially like what Amazon
see that payroll.
Yeah. Oh, it's massive.
I want to see the payroll. Like not even how much he pays out. I just want to see how many people are on that bad boy, man.
It kind of leads me to the next category, which is the join the team category. But it leads to me like when you see these shows, like this is the locker room manager, this is the equipment manager. Oh, this lady does the hospitality. It kind of leads me to like, if I was a 21-year-old kid, I would just go knock on the door and be like, can I do something? Can I do something here? You just look so cool. And just let me get in the mix. Let me go take out the trash. Let me go
fit in the door.
Yeah. Let me go get coffee. Let me just do something.
You don't even have to pay me. Just let me get in.
Right. Give me 6 months unpaid. And then if you want to hire me, but let me do something here. Just that would be my career approach. If I was 21-year-old who lived in a city that had a professional team, it's like, let me do something here.
Absolutely.
Well, join the team award this week. I had 2 potential ones. I would want to be the Dallas Cowboys mascot, or of course, the mailroom supervisor. That just looked like an awesome job.
Jonathan Jackson. Yes, sir.
I just like that you can write a letter to these players and you mail it to the stadium.
I didn't know that. I'm going to start doing that. I didn't even know you could do that.
Just think of the like simplicity of that. Be like, Zeke Elliott's my favorite player. I'm going to write him a letter and send it to the football field that he plays.
That's cool.
Imagine if you're like, hey, I want to write Han Solo a letter. I'll mail it to the Millennium Falcon. So simplistic. So easy. Why do we have to complicate it? Mail it to the stadium.
Yeah. I really didn't know it was that simple.
Hey, Mickey Mouse, let me mail you a letter. I will mail it to the Matterhorn.
That reminds me of a story. When I was a kid, I was writing as kids, during Christmas, we would always write, what you wanted for Christmas to Santa Claus, and you'd mail it to Santa Claus. So I was writing my letter to Santa Claus, telling him what I wanted, and I gave it to my dad. I was probably like 5, maybe. No, I had to have been like 6 or 7 years old because I knew how to write. And I gave it to my dad, and he started reading. He was like, "What is this? This is chicken scratch. Santa's gonna throw this away." Crushed my dreams. I never wrote a letter to Santa Claus after that.
So your dad criticized your letter to Santa Claus.
Man, he said he's not gonna know what to get you. But that was a hard ass, man.
Like, what is this? No one's gonna like accept this letter. The amount it's a mess. He criticized your writing.
He's gonna send it. They're gonna return this to Cinder.
Do you think he was criticizing your physical writing, like your penmanship, or your writing style, your grammar? What do you think he was critiquing?
It was my penmanship, because I still have bad handwriting. Look at this. Look at this shit.
So he's giving you a hard time on the penmanship.
Never got better. And my excuse now is they don't pay me to have good handwriting, right?
Yeah, now you could type. Was it going to suggest that you type Santa Claus a letter on a word processor or a typewriter?
That's even worse.
Man, Dino's dad harshing on his letter to Santa Claus of all things.
Yeah, man.
Do you have anything else for join the team?
Yeah,
this week?
I had Trayvon Diggs' mom.
You want to be Trayvon Diggs' mom, huh?
Yeah. You know why? Because she has 2 sons in the NFL. Stephon Diggs and Stephon Diggs is a baller. Mm-hmm. And Trayvon Diggs, right? So she watches football 24/7 all the time, is what she says. She's like, I love football. I've been watching football forever, is what she says in there, So she, both her kids are millionaires. She gets to choose, do I want to go to Dallas to watch, my youngest son play, or do I want to go to, Buffalo, New York to watch, Stephon Diggs play? And Stephon Diggs is a stud. So I want to be like, that's the life right there.
That's not bad. A player's mom. I never thought of that. I could be a player's mom. That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're flying to games. Yeah, you're living in good houses. You're taking care of the grandkids. The grandkids is big for moms. Mm-hmm. That would be ideal. That's not bad.
Yeah. So that's who I would want to be.
Join the team award goes to Stephon Diggs' mom. By the way, another mom who looks like she could be 39 years old as well. So
yeah, another one, right?
Another very young looking mom. Next category, fun one, casting couch. I got 2.
Yep.
I got this makes no sense, but I just want to see it happen. For Isaac Alacon, Danny Trejo. I want Danny Trejo. I don't care that he's 60 something years old. I want him in the uniform. I want him yelling at the opposing team. I want him getting sweaty and trying to block people. I want Danny Trejo as Isaac Alarcon.
You could even throw in who's the comedian that they call him Fluffy? The Mexican comedian.
Gabriel Iglesias.
Not Iglesias. It's
yeah, Fluffy. I know you did Gabriel something.
Yes, that's gonna drive me crazy.
I'll look it up. But do you want him playing Isaac?
He could be him because he's big, he's fat, you know, and I feel like Isaac Alarcon's a funny guy, man. He says funny things.
It's Iglesias.
It is, huh?
Yeah.
I think I felt like when you said that, I was thinking the singer.
I did too. I thought when you corrected me, I was like, oh yeah, you're right. I got it wrong. But no, it's Iglesias.
Yeah. There you go.
That would be fun. I'd like to see that. Kind of like like a comedy. Like we can make a comedy out of this movie, and Gabriel Iglesias is Isaac Alarcon. Make it a comedy. That would work. I'd watch that.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Okay, and then I have an you go ahead.
My fault. No, go ahead. Yeah, too.
Okay, I have an idea for the mailroom supervisor. What was his name?
His name is Jonathan Jackson.
Jonathan Jackson. I have an idea for him. Okay, he's a legacy in the mailroom. His dad did it. His grandpa did it. Now he's doing it. Okay, we cast a movie where this is a period piece. So we got young mailroom supervisor played by Donald Glover. He's young. He starts in the mailroom. He's getting the hang of it. But then he becomes older, and then we change it, and he's played by Anthony Anderson.
I thought you were going to say Samuel L. Jackson.
Well, maybe. Hold on. We haven't got to that age range yet.
Like the Django guy. You know how you play? Is it who? No, it's not Samuel.
Jamie Foxx.
Is it? Yeah. No, but Django, the butler in Django for
Samuel is in Django.
Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah, he's the
yeah.
butler in there.
That's good. Well, okay. He gets older, and now we need an older guy to play him. And you could go Samuel L. I went Danny Glover or Idris Elba as my kind of debonair gentleman mailroom. He is like, and this is the prime. He's humming. He knows everything. He knows the inner workings. He's essentially a coach. Like he knows the offense at this point too, even though he just works in the mailroom. And then he has to pass the torch to the younger generation again. So the movie ends with Danny Glover passing the torch to his young son. And that's how the movie ends. Yeah. And it ends like Field of Dreams when the guy walks into the cornfield and disappears. Yeah. That's how it ends, is Danny Glover walks into the goalpost and disappears. That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah. What do you got?
I got Trayvon Diggs' son. You know, his son was good. His son was good in this episode. I thought he could be played by, get this one, you know, the Little Rascals character, Buckwheat. His real name is Ross Bagley, right?
How old is he now, though? Isn't he an adult?
Yeah, I know. It had to be, you know,
go back
1994, you know, Buckwheat. But he looked just like him. He could totally play that kid, man. Mm-hmm. He reminded, his little teeth and everything reminded me of just exactly of that kid.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That'll work for me. That little kid was funny.
Yeah, he was funny.
He was doing the robot. He was doing the handshake.
Yep.
Yeah, that kid was pretty good. Not bad.
Yeah, he took over a couple things.
Next category, players' wives. This is for family members in the episode. Obvious one. The first one is the Alarcon family.
Yeah.
A lot of screen time. The mom is praying over the team during the preseason game.
She's always such praying. A typical Mexican mom, right?
Right. Praying over the team. And then she's doing after they lose, one game doesn't make a season quote.
Yes.
She's doing that.
Yes.
Also love how she's positive. she's essentially the only one yelling and kicking and screaming. And the dad is not saying anything. The dad is quiet.
She's more competitive. She's more competitive than anybody.
I found that interesting. The only thing I would have liked is, where they're doing the interview in the home with the brothers and the mom and dad. I needed a scene where the mom is cooking up a storm for the three sons, because those are big boys and they need to eat. I need to see the mom cooking up stuff, flipping things, telling them to sit down. I needed that scene. I thought that would be pretty good.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah, I need to see the mom cooking for the sons.
Dishes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
that was a great scene. I'm glad they did a spotlight on that whole family. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, great family. I like that. That was excellent. Players' wives, and also I had. Okay, this is a little bit more of almost a question. Did it bother you that Trayvon's son calls his dad by his first name, Trayvon?
Yeah.
I'm like, who's the fucking dad here? If you call your dad by his first name, that dad isn't raising that kid. I'm a little worried.
Well,
that bothered me a little bit. Where he's like, come on, Trayvon. I was like, I don't like this. I don't like this one bit.
And so you don't know, number one, who raises him. But number two, that's cool that he's the one that has the, I don't know if it's just his time to have the custody at the time, right? But he's hanging out with,
because we didn't see the mom. Right.
And dad,
the mom.
Yeah, and dad he's a football player. If he's going to be successful, he's got a ball. He's bringing home the bacon. So I like that he was hanging out with grandma, and I don't know who the other lady was, but yeah, that's a good question. What's happening there, right? That could be like,
what's the family dynamic? Where's the mom? Is this the only son? What's the day to day? But I did find it funny that
old.
He can't be, right?
Yeah, this is barely his second year, so he's got to at least maybe be like 22, 23.
That kid looked like 5 years old.
He's at least 5, at least 6, 5 or 6, because he reminded me of my son, and my son's 6 years old.
Okay, so some questions there. You're right, of what's going on when the son calls the dad by his first name.
I wonder if he was just doing that just to be funny, or if that's really what he was doing.
Could have been, because the son was pretty camera comfortable. Like he didn't mind dancing and saying funny things on camera. There's always that moment where the kid becomes self-aware that they're doing something funny and entertaining, and then they totally blow it. And I didn't get that. I didn't get that feeling with him. So I think he really calls the dad by his first name.
Yeah, Trayvon, he's 23 years old, and the kid's at least, let's say he's 5. So at least he was 18 when he had the kid, probably.
Questions. The questions there. Yeah, you're right.
Questions
for players' wives. What did you have for players' wives? Anything different than those two?
I had Alicorn's mom. That's exactly what I have written down here. She's just intense. She's more competitive than the dad was just laid back.
Yeah.
Just feed me.
The dad was just the overseeing kind of king of the castle, but yet the mom is making decisions.
Good job, mijo.
You did good. You did good.
You did good, mijo.
Yeah. A reality show with that mom alone wouldn't be a bad idea either.
Yeah.
I could see her running kind of like a Kris Jenner empire on the side. Like she's got her own ideas, business plans, social media stuff. I could see her being a fun reality TV show also. Is
it Mel Kris Jenner or
Kris Jenner is the mom, is the Kardashian mom.
Yeah, I get her mom mixed up.
That was
I'm not a fan.
Not a fan of baby. Yeah. I was Bruce. Now I'm Caitlyn, baby. I don't know about those gays. I'm gonna pray the gay out of them. I'm traditional. I won a gold medal, but it doesn't really go with my earrings. Yeah, baby. 12th Man Award. Sorry. 12th Man Award. I got one and one alone for the 12th Man Award. And that is Jerry's helicopter. The 12th Man Award.
12th Man.
12th Man. A lot of good,
awesome.
Very good miles, good usage on the helicopter. All the way.
And it's a new helicopter. He can't have an old helicopter, right?
No way.
And it makes me think about, Kobe's helicopter, rest in peace.
I thought that birthday, too, and right? I got a little sad. I did think that too.
Yeah, today's his birthday, all that. And then, but when like you think about it, Kobe's helicopter that he had was an old helicopter. You know, it was like I think the helicopter was like an 80s helicopter, late 80s helicopter. It's supposed to, but it was state of the art, or it's an early 90s something. It was weird. When I was hearing the whole story, I was like, why do they have such an old helicopter? You know, but this one is looks like it's brand spanking new.
Look pretty luxurious
too, right?
Yeah. I would bet that Jerry's been in that helicopter just many hours. That's just his commuter.
Correct.
That's how he moves around. Correct. Yeah. 12-man award, just helicopter. I loved it.
Yeah. I had the drone was my 12th man, or John Jackson. He was my 12th man. I had to give him the 12th man, you know? He's over here, you know, the he's the fourth generation, by the way. It was his great grandfather, his grandfather, his dad, and now he's number 4, right? Of working with the Cowboys. That's incredible. He's a legacy. Like, you don't hear that too often, these days, right? Just the fact that, you know, the grandfather did this, they did this, and they all worked for the Cowboys.
Right.
And then the 12th man, he's over there whooping up on millionaire guys, right? Dak. Yeah. He's whipping up on Dak. He's whipping up on Ezekiel Elliott and spades.
And he's not starstruck at all. No, he's not in all of these guys, because it seems like, oh, you guys think you're hot shit? Guess what? I was playing cards with Jay Novacek. Oh, guess what? I took $500 off Emmitt Smith one time. Oh, guess what? Like, he's not starstruck or in awe at all of these players. He's like, dude, I've seen players come and go. So I almost don't think he's 12th man. I think he's an 11th man. I think he's that
he's part of the team.
I think he's part of the team. He's 11th man. I think take out DiNucci, put in the mailroom supervisor, no change.
No change. No. You're going to get the same results.
Same result. Maybe even an extra completed pass or two.
Yeah. Yeah. And that drone operator is the 12th man. It's got to be the 12th man. That dude, he probably went to school at MIT. He had to. Being able to fly a drone like that.
I would have liked to have seen a little behind the scenes of how they did that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If it was some sort of camera trick where it was multiple drones, or it was a one shot. I don't know. I'd love to see it.
Did you see the end? They had the kind of some outtakes at the end, and they showed the drone going underneath at the very beginning, it went underneath a statue of kids, and the drone actually hit the statue of kids and fell on its back.
That's what made me think like maybe this was a real physical shot.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least that first part was. I couldn't.
But it was so perfect. How it caught when it flew into the star, and there was a lady actually giving an interview. It caught the sound of that, and then it just took off into the stadium. That was so awesome. I give 10 stars to whoever thought of that idea right there.
Right. Just the planning of that shot alone must have taken days. Like, all right, we're going to start here. We're going to go in here, take a turn here. Is this possible with the drone? Is this not? It was impressive. I don't know if you can get awards for Hard Knocks, but that shot alone, you should teach in film school somehow, some way.
100%. No wonder episode 2 sucked. It's because they were trying to perfect that opening shot.
Yeah, that shot could not have taken a day. That must have taken a long time to get right. I still want to know more about
yoga people. Yeah, it caught the yoga class that was out on the lawn. Flew above them. That was so cool, man. That's another rewatchable scene. I could rewatch that one over and over again. That should have been my number one on rewatchable scene.
Pretty damn good. And it's the beginning of the episode. And you just know, you're like, I'm in. Let's watch this episode. This is good.
This is it.
How about next category, unintended comedy? I got 2. I got Hardy trying to wear glasses under his helmet. Trying to fit his helmet over the glasses, trying to put the glasses through the helmet. He can't figure it out. He's wearing these old school glasses, like from the 1980s. It made me think, remember the old trope in the 80s? Every sports movie had a guy who was really athletic, but they couldn't catch, or the ball would constantly hit him in the head. And at some point, the coach or the trainer gives him glasses, and he's remarkably better. It made me think of that. As like, as soon as this guy gets the right glasses, it made me think of the this old movie. It's called The Best of Times. It was this weird movie where Kurt Russell and Robin Williams were on a high school football team as high schoolers. They're adults in the movie, and they go back and play one throwback game. And Robin Williams, I think it's Robin Williams, sucks until he puts on a pair of glasses. And then he burns, he's a receiver. He burns someone and he catches the ball. I think it was heavily dependent on glasses. Glasses in sports is a very underrated sort of technique.
Yep.
Halfway through the movie, I could watch him try and put that helmet on with glasses all day.
That was super funny.
Yeah. What about glasses technology? Why haven't we figured out glasses? Why can't we make the visor prescription? Or
I think they can.
They probably can, right?
Yeah. I thought that's what they did at first, but maybe he's an undrafted rookie, so I don't think he gets that type of prime time. Maybe if he makes the team, they'll get him a visor that
give him some like kick-ass technology.
Yeah. But he should be rolling around with that visor anyways. Mm-hmm. He should have his own. He should have his own visor that's already made that's prescription.
Yeah, I would think you're right. Yeah, like Oakley could make some kick-ass visor that's prescription or something other than just physically putting on glasses in a helmet.
He was actually putting contacts in there.
He was trying to put contacts in. Oh, I had that as well. I do not need to watch anybody put contacts in a close-up shot ever again. That was grossing me out. I don't want to see anybody's eyeball blink 100 times. I don't want to see the contact sit on the eyeball. That was gross.
That was what their foreshadowing, right? Scene right before they talked about it. Like, you don't need to do all that.
Right.
You don't need to foreshadow that we're going to talk about glasses now.
Yeah, it goes into this. My only gripe of this episode is that like they stuffed so much into this episode. Almost to a point like, let's leave this for episode 4. There was so much stuffed into this episode that they could have trimmed 5 minutes of sort of exposition with the contacts or something out of it. Other than I still love the episode.
Yep.
One more for unintended comedy. I don't know if you caught this. In the team meeting, Dak confesses to how he would commit a murder. What the fuck is this about?
When he was talking about the mascot?
The chainsaw. Yeah.
The chainsaw. Yeah. And he was talking about, that's why he didn't like going to haunted houses, because murders could happen in a haunted house, and that would be the easiest way to get away with it.
Right. I was like, is he talking about how he would murder someone? And he's like, I told my mom, they never catch me. You never know. You would never know. And then I'm thinking, all the cameras we have, all the Ring video doorbells, someone's going to confess to some crime just in like conversation at one of these board meetings or one of these team meetings. And they're going to have just undisputed evidence of the confession because we have cameras and audio everywhere.
Yes, sir.
Those were my two unintended comedy: murder and glasses.
I don't know if it was unintended comedy, but did you see when they set up Alacorn with the unscrewed water bottle?
Was that a setup? I didn't catch that.
I think it was a setup, because he went like that and he squeezed it and all went in his face.
That's pretty good. I did see that. I didn't know it was a setup though, but
I don't know if it was a setup. That's what I thought that was some unintended comedy right there.
That was pretty good. He sprayed himself with his own water bottle.
Yes, sir.
Anything else for unintended comedy?
I had the helmets also. Him putting on the helmet, that we were
it's
right
just
on
funny
the same page.
When someone can't put on a helmet or a piece of clothing. It's always funny. Okay, we're into my 2 favorite categories of the episode. Now, pending questions. I have a bunch. Number 1, what was Isaac Alacon saying at the beginning? Where they open up with a shot on him. I didn't know what the hell he was saying.
I want to taste it. He said, I want to taste the cake. That's one of my quotes. He said,
that's what he was saying?
Yeah, they went back to that shot where I want to taste the cake. I want to taste the cake.
What is he talking about? What cake?
That was when Dak Prescott, for his birthday, when he got the cake smashed in his face, he's like, I want to taste that cake.
I didn't get it at all. I was like, what the hell is he saying? I heard cake, but I didn't know in what context he was saying. Again, he's talking to no one. He's talking to himself.
Yeah.
On the sideline. Here's my other question. Okay. Where that elaborate drone shot, where should that have shot ended? At the very end of the shot, here I have some thoughts.
Where did it end?
It ended like where it started, like on the big shot of one of the practice fields. But if you're really going for it, I say the drone keeps going and it goes to Jerry Jones's house, and it starts going through Jerry Jones's house, and it's going through the foyer, it's going through the kitchen, but it ends 7 minutes later with the sound of a flushing toilet, and Jerry Jones comes out of the bathroom and he says, "Show's over." And then the episode just ends. Wouldn't that be great? It's Jerry Jones taking a shit and the drone footage ends.
He wipes his head off.
Yep. That's where I think the drone footage should have ended. Is Jerry Jones's bathroom.
She just said, "Man, I shouldn't have ate that McGriddle."
Yes, definitely. There's so many places you could go with that drone. Just keep it going. And I think Jerry Jones flushing the toilet would be perfect.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What about this pending question? What color is Jerry Jones's hair? What color would we actually say his hair is?
It's platinum.
It's platinum? It's kind of yellow?
Yellow. Who knows? It's gray, it's yellow, it's platinum, it's white.
Is it dyed, do you think? Or is that natural? That can't be his natural color.
Transparent, right?
It's clear. You could say his hair's clear. You could really say his hair's clear. Next question. What do I have here? Okay. You know how the players wear those little hats on their helmet for practice?
Yeah.
What are those actually
down?
What are those actually doing? I saw a red one. I saw a black one. I don't know what those are. One.
Yeah. I saw a green one. Too. Those are questions. There's 10 questions.
I don't know. I have no idea.
We got to be able to write somebody, Pat. We got to tweet HBO we don't need to tweet HBO. We got to tweet the Dallas Cowboys and ask them, what is that?
We could write it to the mailroom supervisor. We could write a letter to
John Jackson.
Does he have a
Twitter handle? I need to find out.
I'm going to look him up. I'm going to look him up. He's got to be in there. Maybe it signifies who can be tackled or what level of tackling. Because it seemed like the running backs had a color. I don't know. That's always been on helmets. I didn't know what those are. Next question. What card game were they playing in the card game? Spades.
So, yeah. You know how to play spades? Spades is a fun game. So the spades cards are the big cards. So it's 4 players. You deal everybody their cards, and the highest card obviously is the ace. That's the best card of each suit, right? Ace, king, queen, jack, 10, all the way down, right? And so everybody gets dealt cards. The spades are the best cards. So if you use a spade, it can kill any of the hearts. It could kill any of the clubs, right? Things like that. But you can only use the spade to win the hand if you don't have that type of card. So if you don't have any hearts, you can use a spade and win that hand. Right?
Got it.
So
okay.
Yeah. So that's the name of the game there. It's a super fun game.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was unaware of the card game they were playing. One more pending question for me. Come November, where do you think DiNucci is? Is he on the Cowboys team? Is he selling copiers? Is he on another team? Where do you think DiNucci is this November?
I'm looking at him, drinking a beer on my couch next to me, watching the Cowboys. That's where I think he's at.
Out of the league. You think he's out of the league?
Like he's waiting for a call from somebody. He's not good.
He was not good in this episode. He was not good. He was not good. He's mad at himself. He's throwing picks.
Yeah.
He's not going to be the number 2 quarterback. There's no way.
Did you watch the game? Yeah, obviously you probably didn't watch the game, but they could have won the preseason game this weekend. He comes in, he throws 3 picks, one of them for a pick 6, Pat. Like
he's been bad.
Horrible.
Mm-hmm.
He's not better than Cooper Rush, and he's not better than Garrett Gilbert, who are the true backups. So that's what I'm saying. You got Dak, Garrett Gilbert, Cooper Rush, and then DiNucci. They're not going to keep 4
No way.
on
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
There's no way. Dak is a question mark as far as health. So
but
they've got to have
2 other backups.
They've got to have 5 QBs on the speed dial in case Dak goes down, Gilbert takes over, and then we need a backup to the backup. It can't be DiNucci. It cannot be. He's terrible.
The only way DiNucci makes it is if, yes, Garrett Gilbert gets hurt or any of the backups get hurt. That's the only way he makes the team, but that's not happening.
I don't think so either. Yeah, come November, I say he's on a different team.
And then I don't even think he makes it even if one of those guys gets hurt, because I think you can find a better backup than him for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think so too. Yeah. I think they've got QBs on speed dial. They're like, what's Chet Pennington up to? What's a couple of these other guys? Vinny Testaverde still around? I think they have dudes on speed dial. Like, all right, we need a backup. It can't be DiNucci. No, so come November, I say he's not on the team.
Testaverde.
Testaverde. I thought Vinny Testaverde and Bernie Kosar were the same guy for like 5 years.
It looked the same.
They look the same. Their names are similar. They have the same curly mullety hair. I thought they were the same guy until I saw them like both on the field. Like, oh, those are 2 different guys. Quote. Unless I left out any pending questions. What are your pending questions?
You hit it. You hit it right on the head.
Let's go to my favorite category of this episode. Quote of the night. I have
some good ones.
I have some good ones. Let me start with this one. Quote of the night. The crowd going, Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. So great. It's so great. Great quote when you see the owner. You just yell his first name from the old Jerry Springer show. I got that one. Then I got the coach. I think it was a D-line coach. But whenever somebody messes up, the go-to coach quote is, that's fucking bullshit. I love it. I love it. What you did was so terrible. It's fucking bullshit. I love that quote from any coach, any sport. Then I got from Mike McCarthy, when it starts raining, a lot of money on that field. I don't want to mess around with no lightning.
Got a lot of money out there. He's right about that.
Also funny, we have had very little Mike McCarthy time on this series.
That's true.
As a total. So good that he got a quote. Then I got from
John Jackson.
What is it?
Jonathan Jackson.
Why can't I remember his name? I'm confusing him with Joe Jackson.
His name's Malcolm.
Malcolm. Why did I call him Malcolm?
He's Malcolm.
From Malcolm.
Call him what you need to call him.
From Malcolm, the mailroom supervisor. Don't ask me to come down here to play with you when he wins the game.
Yeah.
And he's like, don't ask me to come down here and play with you when he just leaves.
Don't ask me to come play you no more. Don't ask me to come over here and play no more, man.
He slams the card down. He wins. Don't ask me to come down here to play with you. I'm out. Leaves the mic drop. And then final quote, Jerry's on the helicopter. They have to go back for somebody. And he says, why don't we just start the day fucking it up, Jerry Jones?
I love it. I wrote that one down, man. That one had me rolling. They had to
funny.
Go back and go get his son, because his son, I guess,
that who it was?
Wasn't ready. Yeah, Stephen Jones. He wasn't ready to go. And I guess they got a call, go pick him up. And they're mid-flight. How
annoying is that? You go back in your helicopter to pick up your son.
How privileged is that, though? Hey, let's just turn around in our helicopter and go back and get our son.
Of the ultimate white dude plights, turning around in your helicopter to go pick up your son is got to be hard to beat. You know, you got the like, oh, the yacht is running late. Oh, my Bentley's in the shop. Turning the helicopter around to go pick up your son. It's got to be the ultimate rich white dude plight.
Yeah. And it's considered starting off the day fucking it up.
Yes. Right. If you're in a helicopter and you're annoyed, you got some dough.
Yeah. I had a good quote from Jerry himself, though. He said, when they were talking about, COVID-19, he says in there, I've had more shots than a Cocker Spaniel.
Yeah, I heard that. That was great old dude joke / non-joke.
Sounded like something your dad would say.
Yeah, that was a great old dude joke. Excellent quote. I had more shots than a Cocker Spaniel.
Yeah. I had that. I had what you talked about with Jerry. I had the quote of the night. I want to try that cake.
That's good.
He
that should have been in there. Yep. I want to try that cake.
One of the D-line coaches, he said, "What are you doing?" He's telling Alacorn, "What are you doing? This is football." What did he say? Oh, get in the 3-point stance, right?
Oh, right. Alacorn lined up and never got in the 3-point stance that one.
Yeah.
That was funny.
It's like, what are you doing? We're playing football. Get in the 3-point stance.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, Alacorn was fucking up early in the episode. He was struggling.
He redeemed himself.
He was struggling. Yeah, he's definitely, and then Kamara too. You're just rooting for these guys to make the team somehow, some way. So also it would be cool, like as this Hard Knocks keeps going, Alacorn's going to gain fans. And I think fans should start showing up with T-shirts to the games that say, like, "I want to eat that cake," or something, or like a quote, like an Alacorn quote, and he can have his like little fan base crew in the stadium.
Love it.
Because so far he's the story of the series for me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Any more quotes? Did we go through them all?
We went through them all.
Next category, regular season prediction. For after watching this regular season prediction, this episode won me over. So 12-5. Give it to me.
I'm back there too.
I'm all in.
Too.
12-5.
Back at my 12-5.
Fighting for the home field wild card playoff spot. I'm all in after this episode. This team looks good.
They look good. It brought back hope. And I don't know if you realize that, but they played that game without their defensive coordinator. And
Dan Quinn wasn't in the booth.
Yeah, he was out for COVID protocols. And the defense looked good. They gave, if you think about it, they only gave up really 7 points because the very first touchdown, Garrett Gilbert fumbled the ball, and Houston got it like on Dallas's 20, and so they went in and scored. It's almost impossible to keep them from scoring, right? So I don't really put that on the defense. And then the second touchdown, that was the pick six to tie the game at 14.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not even on the defense. And then I think they won and they got like 2 field goals. So really they only gave up 2 field goals this game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling really positive about that defense.
Yeah,
really
this got a lot of people psyched for the Cowboys, I think.
Yeah.
Watching this episode, you're like, Cowboys look good. They got people, they got players, they got coaches, they got an awesome facility. I'm all in on the Cowboys. I go 12-5 this week.
Yes, sir.
Who won the episode?
Trayvon Diggs' son.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He had a lot of prime time. He was dancing. He had some handshakes. He's yelling for his dad, getting a chance to, watch it. He's a cute little kid. He's got a personality bigger than life, right? At that age.
Mm-hmm. Calls his dad by his first name.
Calls his dad by his first name.
His dad also, did you catch Trayvon Diggs's crazy pink sweater that he was wearing in the house? I think it was outrageous. He was wearing this like odd mole-haired pink sweater. That's pretty funny. That's a good pick. Winner. The son won the episode. That's not bad. I got a few nominees. I got Candy, the Cowboys facility, Jerry Jones, and in a new write-in category, who lost the episode? Oxnard. Oxnard looked like shit compared to where were they? Frisco, Texas.
Yeah. I guess it's not supposed to be exciting, right?
I guess not.
It made Oxnard. They made Oxnard look horrible.
Yeah, Oxnard looked like a pimple compared to that drone footage. So for me, Cowboys facility won the episode. Locker rooms, meeting rooms, hotels, boutiques, and then ultimately
beautiful.
Jerry Jones, helicopters.
That facility is like, if I'm not mistaken, was like $1 billion. It's $1 billion facility.
It's every bit of it. It's huge. It's massive, and it's everything. It's no stadiums are no longer just stadiums anymore. They are
Mm-hmm.
full on campuses and
Yeah.
little cities within a city. They're their own organism.
You don't even have to leave that area at all.
When did that start? When did stadiums start growing out of just being a stadium in a parking lot? I want to say there was something called the fan experience 15 years ago that sort of began the thought of it.
For Super Bowls, yeah. But I think the Star is a first of its kind, right? I don't think there's any other like facility out there, and that's not even close to the stadium, by the way. Frisco's not even close to Arlington, where the actual stadium's at. So this practice facility in Frisco's got to at least be like 30 minutes away from there. So there's no other. I don't know of any other, team who has a facility like that.
No, nothing like that for sure. I'm wondering if this idea came. The first thought I had when I thought of it was the Staples Center when they made LA Live downtown for the Lakers. And they made they revitalized downtown, not part of the stadium, but it was in conjunction with the construction of it.
Yeah.
So I was like, this seems like still like almost untapped, that you could do more with the stadium experience, the stadium thought of it. So to me, it was
that thing's awesome.
To me, it was the campus, the Cowboys facility won the episode. I just wanted to go there. I was like, just let me walk around.
Yeah. That's where they held they held the draft there not too long ago, a couple of years ago.
Right. And you can do more. They do so much concerts can be done there. The draft can be done there. The whole kind of like football is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just square footage.
He's a genius, man. He's a marketing genius. He's ahead of his time for sure.
Yeah, I liked it. I couldn't get enough of the campus. So episode 3 packed with stuff. Action packed. So, all right, it's time for Diamonds Are Forever. Stories from our past, which by the way, get the most attention of anything. Last week, you recovered from shingles. You told the story of getting a fake ID. This week, I'm going to start us off. I went way back for this week. There was a time where we were little kids. We were with our parents, and there was a coffee maker. So you put the filter in, you put coffee in for the adults who are making coffee. And of course, we're like 6 or 7 years old, and we say, can we have coffee? And my mom and dad are like, no, and we start to sneak coffee, and they're like, no, put it back. We just want coffee. And my parents are shutting us down. They're like, no, do not touch the coffee. They're like, we want coffee. And we're becoming annoying. And your dad comes in and he says, you don't want coffee? Coffee makes you short and black. Conversation over. We never asked for coffee again. That was the end of the argument. And he shut us down. Coffee makes you short and black. And I still think that to this day.
Because my dad is short and black.
Your dad is short and black. How would you describe your dad? How do you describe your dad to other people? What is your dad to you? Your dad is a bit of like a version. I see your dad as a version of you. But he's very boisterous. He's very friendly. He's very talkative. He's very funny, but he's very forceful too. Well, how do you describe your dad to people?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Thank you. Show's over.
We're done. I don't have an answer. You stumped me. How do I describe my dad? That's a great question.
I don't mean to go all psychological on you, but would you describe your dad as fatherly?
No.
No. Well, what's the best? Let me start with this. What's your dad's best attribute? What do you think is his most enduring quality? Is it work ethic? Is it family? Is it what do you think? Work ethic.
I think his work ethic and setting the tone of what a successful person, looks like, especially a person of color, a Black person. So, Pops was, first Black judge in El Paso. So, he took pride in, wanting to make sure that he he showed us that we want to be successful. And I think that's one of the reasons why I work the way I work, with my career, trying to, just trying to be the best, but, and wanting more. So I would say that's how I describe my pops. But then sometimes he could be very mean growing up. When we were growing up, we were he was the guy that we were scared of. We didn't want to, my mom would threaten, I'm going to tell your dad. And we were like, no, please no, right? We think we could get everything, get over on my mom. And, but when she told my dad, we were in trouble, right? That's when, we were going to get the belt.
Yeah.
So, he's a funny
Was he
guy.
a disciplined guy? Was he
No.
overly disciplinarian? What was his approach to parenting?
He was strict, but I think he let my mom do a lot of the disciplining, She only calls, he's almost like the big gun. You got to call him the big guns when, we're really bad. So he was more of the, I'm going to have a conversation with you first about it, and then I'll get mad. I really never saw him get too mad at us. He'd raise his voice, but not too much. Not at all. Yeah.
Do you see more of yourself? Do you see more of your dad in yourself or more of your mother?
I think I have a good mixture of both, because I could be that dominant, loud, boisterous person like you're talking about, and then I think I have that I think I have that nice side. And according, some people may not think that, but I think I could be, that loving individual as well. So that serves me right. I'm a Gemini, right? They say Geminis have two sides. So I think I think I could play both sides well. So I think I have a good mixture of both.
Yeah. It's interesting. I always think about how the dad communicates with the son, because it's I don't want to say it's harder than you would think, but I could see it being difficult to get a conversation going. I was talking to someone who is a dad, and he said the best way to communicate with sons is in a car. You both are looking forward, you're moving, and you can communicate. And he said it was different for daughters, but for sons, it's like you have to have a conversation around an activity, and it's driving, it's throwing the ball around.
That's true.
I was like, I guess that's right. That would totally work with my dad. Yeah, we would have to do something. We would have our best conversations while we're doing something. On the phone, no. Sitting at a dinner table, no. But like out and about, you could get these tidbits from my dad based around an activity. So
you're right about that.
Do you anticipate it being hard as a father? You have two little kids. What do you think would be your hardest thing as a father that you're concerned about? Because your kids are very young, so the upbringing is very new still.
Yeah, it is very new. And that's something that I stay conscious of, is making sure that I'm able to communicate, making sure I earn the trust to make sure that they're able to come talk to me about anything, right? And so I'm very cognizant of it, when I'm around, DJ and just talking to him. I want to make sure that he knows that I'm his best friend, right? Because I want him to come to me, with problems when he gets older. I want that. I want to make sure that he knows, even if he messed up, that he can still come talk to me. So that's something that is on the, in my mind when, as I'm raising him every day. So that's cool.
That it's like a concern that you'll be able to have that relationship. Yeah.
I want to make sure, I want him, if he wants to drink, growing up, I want him to be able to say, hey Dad, do you mind if we have some drinks or whatever,
Hey Dad, do you mind if I buy some Swisher Sweets?
Hey Dad, do you think I could use your fake ID, please?
Dad, I need to go to the Circle K and buy cigars. Can I use your ID?
So, but I mean, if I want the kids to be able to do stuff at the house as opposed to being out there where I don't know where they're at messing around, or I want to make sure that they know that they don't need to hide from me.
Did you always want to have kids?
Yeah, I think I always grew up wanting to and believe it or not, and it's funny that you're asking this. Your parents were a huge inspiration to me. Just seeing how your parents were around each other, how they were with you. I paid attention to a lot of that growing up. So it was always something that I definitely wanted for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage kids for sure.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, if you raise your kid right, you can one day tell them that coffee makes you short and black.
And I'm going to tell him what that means.
That's some good parenting. That's right. Yeah, your dad told us coffee makes you short and black, and we never.
That's funny.
Brought up the coffee argument again. We were young, and your dad laid it down, told us the real deal of what happens to drink coffee, circa 1985.
And that's typical of my dad. He's not going to sugarcoat shit for anybody.
Right. That's a good way. That's a good way of describing your dad. He is very. I don't want to say opinionated, but he's going to tell you what's on his mind in the moment right there. And it's usually going to be kind of funny. Like he's very funny like that. And he will beat you to laughing at the joke. Like he will start laughing at the joke, his own joke before you. Something my dad carries too is laughing at his own humor is very inherent to
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That was the psychological moment of Diamonds Are Forever.
There we go.
Do you have a story this week?
So when you were talking about us being young, it kind of brought back a story that I remember when we were 5 or 6 years old. You were probably like 7. We were already out of preschool, but we all we grew up. Our parents actually owned a preschool together, right? Did you really realize that our parents owned a preschool together? And
our parents have a lot of history with each other that predates us being born, right?
Yeah, for sure. And so they had a preschool, and we, Steve-O went to the preschool. I went to the preschool. I don't think you really ever went to the preschool because you were a little bit older.
I did. Yeah, I'm 1 year older than you, but I believe I did.
Yeah, so it was, I guess, a point in time where the preschool was we were out of the preschool. So it was almost like as if the parents lost interest of the preschool because the kids aren't in the preschool anymore, And I remember somebody had broken into the preschool. And so the preschool was on the east side. You guys lived in Central El Paso. And of course, we lived on the east side. And I remember you guys drove to our house, to our parents' house. And my dad used to have these, the big old white erase boards, the whiteboards in the den, and with dry erase markers. And they were in the other room talking about, the break-in, and we were going to go over there. And me, you, and Steven were sitting in there acting like we were big tough guys, right? Because this was our preschool, right? And we were drawing a plan on how we were going to go in, as if the robbers were still there, and we were going to draw a plan, and one person was going to enter this side of the building, we were going to enter this other side, and we were going to apprehend these robbers. And we're sitting there, we're drawing out blueprints on this whiteboard.
I vaguely remember that. Yeah,
you remember that?
I remember the break-in. Our parents owned it was a preschool, but it was a building, and someone broke into it and they trashed it or something. And then we went in to go assess the damage. It was dark. It was at night. So we had flashlights, and it was kind of fucking scary.
It was
because shit was on the ground, and they kind of spray painted and vandalized the walls. And it was kind of fucking scary that this was at a late at night. It was dark, and we're just walking around looking at what somebody had done. They'd broken a window. So it was a
little fire in the middle of the classroom.
It was kind of freaky for a young kid. And then once we kind of got out of there, and it didn't seem so scary, but I do remember that being sort of haunting.
Yeah, that was crazy. That's impactful. That was impactful on my life for some reason.
Yeah,
and I'm telling you, we were 5, 6 years old. Right. If we were 6, you were 7, something like that. We were little guys.
It is sort of weird that someone breaks into your building and you bring your kids with you to go check it out.
I know.
This looks dangerous. You better roll the windows up, kids.
Where was my brother? He's supposed to be taking care of us, right? Poppy.
Well, we covered a lot of ground here. Diamante, thanks for joining me. This has been Diamonds Are Forever, HBO Hard Knocks review. We will see everyone next week. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, that's the episode, everyone. Oh boy, I feel like we covered a lot of ground there. How about those stories too? How about the insight? How about the humor? How about the just life experiences that you go through? I want to thank Diamante Williams for sharing, and I want to thank you for listening as well. Of course, big thanks to Jerry Jones for creating the empire that is the Dallas Cowboys. Hey, who is your guy? Who is your guy? Kamara? Would it be Jaquan? Or would it be crowd favorite Isaac Alacon? Let me know. Put it in the comments. Put it somewhere. I want to know who you're rooting for. Who's going to make the team? Who's not going to make the team? Hey, preseason's been fun, but there's going to be cuts. We're going to lose a few names. So we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. 2 episodes left on our Hard Knocks series, so get into it. Check it out. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Hit me up for your questions, for your stand-up dates and information, as I'm performing everywhere around town, so you can check that out. So, for me, Patrick Ramirez, for Diamante Williams, this has been Diamonds Are Forever, and we will see you next time.